So I quit my 9 to 5 job with only 1,990 YouTube subscribers, and I did this without ever going viral. Now you might be wondering, okay, but how did I even make enough money with only 1,000 subscribers, 1,900 subscribers to even be able to quit my job? So the thing is, most people have a misconception about what it's like to make money using YouTube. Most people think they have to get hundreds of thousands of views, have a lot of subscribers, have tons of views, tons of followers, become famous, become like a YouTube celebrity, but that's actually not true. If you want to use YouTube as a business, if you want to make money with YouTube, you don't need to get hundreds of thousands of views. You don't need to have a ton of subscribers, none of that stuff. And so let me show you how I did it. And for a bit of context, I'm going to show you the YouTube channel and all that stuff. So let's take a look. This is how I quit my 9 to 5 job with only 1,990 YouTube subscribers, and most of all without going viral. And so these are the stats as of last month for my YouTube channel. So this is the name of the YouTube channel, 3,700 subscribers. And you can see my YouTube AdSense is only $162. Which is not much at all. Now, even though this is not great, here is the thing that is more important, which is actual revenue with the business. This is the stripe of my business, and you can see that we processed $22,000 last month. And so even though it's a tiny YouTube channel, you can see the revenue that I generated with just 3,700 subscribers, which is crazy. So here's kind of how I think about it. If you want to be a celebrity, if you want to be famous, if you want to be well known in the YouTube space, then sure, you need to go viral, you need tons of views, you need to entertain people. But if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're an agency owner, if you're a freelancer, you don't need to get that many views. And what you can do is use YouTube to make money. So let me just show you kind of what I mean. So this is kind of the system that I came up with that I like to call the micro YouTube funnel. Let's kind of break it down. So just to be honest, like this is not for you if you're a complete beginner. If you don't sell any services or products, then this is not going to help you out. If you want to become celebrity famous, like I talked about it just a second, this is not for you. And if you want to go viral, this is definitely not for you. Now, who this is for? So if you're a business owner like myself, this is definitely going to help you out. If you have a skill and you want to monetize it, kind of how I started, I had a 9 to 5, but I had a skill and I started to monetize it, start a business around it. This is definitely going to help you out. If you're a small YouTube creator and you're kind of stuck, you don't know how to make money, you're scared about the AdSense, sponsorships, all that stuff, this is definitely going to help you out. If you have a product or a service, this is perfect for you. And if you're stuck below 5K a month, this is definitely going to help you out. Okay, so you might be wondering, why not monetize with AdSense, like YouTube ads, and they pay us through the YouTube channel? Now, here's kind of how I like to think about it. So here's AdSense compared to having like a micro YouTube channel with a small business, and I'm going to show you the difference. AdSense is kind of like cutting grass with a pair of scissors. You can see his face, he's not very happy. It kind of works, but it's really slow and you need tons of views. And as you can see, like you can cut the grass with a pair of scissors, but it's just not very effective. It's not very efficient. On the flip side, how I think about running a business on YouTube with a micro YouTube funnel is like having a lawnmower cutting the grass. You can see how fast he's cutting the grass. And so one of these two methods is much more efficient if you want to make money on YouTube as a business owner, consulting, coaching, freelancer, that kind of stuff. So on one side, we have a little bit of AdSense. Yeah, sure, it's making a bit of money with the YouTube channel, but that's not the thing that we should worry about. Is about the business. 20K as opposed to $160. So for a bit of context, this is the type of business that I was running with the YouTube channel. So I started a web design agency, and before YouTube, I was doing this with outreach. So I was reaching out to business owners, trying to close them on a website and helping local businesses with their websites. But the thing is, I was really stuck below $2,000 a month. Even some months were way worse, like $500, $300. It was super inconsistent. And so one month I'd make $1,000, the next month I'll make 500. It was really tough for me to find clients consistently. I had my 9 to 5, and so I was trying to start a business that I could get freedom of, unlock time, make more money. On top of that, I started this business so that I could quit my 9 to 5 because I hated my 9 to 5 at the time. But what ended up happening is this business became really stressful. Getting clients, cold calling strangers, all that stuff was a nightmare. And so what sucks is I quickly started hating this new business, which was the whole point of starting it in the first place, is so that I could quit my 9 to 5 that I hated at the time. And so I was always stressed and worried about when I was going to get clients. I hated chasing clients, convincing strangers to get my website services. And for me, this was always a pain. I was cold calling strangers, cold emails, Instagram DMs, Facebook groups, you name it. Any sort of cold outreach I did, and I tried it myself. And so I guess this is where the niche YouTube channel comes in. This is when I started my YouTube channel around my business, around web design. And so my goal here was, I want to stop chasing and hustling to get clients clients. Instead, I want clients to come to me. I want to start attracting clients that actually want to work with me so that I actually enjoy running my business and I can make more money so I can quit my 9-to-5 job. What ended up happening is quickly after a few months of running this YouTube channel with the funnel that I'm about to break down, I started making way more money. In fact, I made just over $8,000 with just 96 subscribers on YouTube. So I'll probably make a video about that if I haven't posted already, but it was insane. The YouTube channel took my business to the next level. And so how do we actually do it? How do we create a micro YouTube channel that helps us drive sales to our business? So step one would be take your skill or your business and create a YouTube channel. And so for me, this was a channel around web design, which is what I was doing at the time. And the main thing here, the main key is you want it to be niche and specific. So if you think about it, this is a niche, you want to go deeper. So you want to go into a sub niche, and sometimes you want to go into a sub of a sub niche. The reason why is it's a lot easier to get clients down here once you're more specialized than going for a broad market. So for me, let's say my topic was web design. What I would do is find a sub niche of web design. So a couple examples of a sub niche of web design would be like med spa web design. So if you focus just on helping med spas with their web design, you become more specialized, you become more niche down, you'll get less views, but you'll be able to find clients way faster. For me, the way I specialized myself was picking a software of web design. So instead of going after the entire market, talking about web design in general, I picked Go High Level, which if you don't know, if you've never heard about Go High Level, it's just a software that people use to run their businesses. That's it. So step two is starting to actually create the content. What you want to do when you start posting is start creating value and educational content around your niche. For me, this was web design. And the thing here is you don't want to go for views or virality. And I'm going to show you an example of a video in just a second. You don't want to become famous or entertaining. This is not the purpose of this channel. A lot of channels that are really like entertaining, viral type of content don't make a lot of money. And so you want to be helping your ideal prospects solve a problem around your area of expertise. What does this look like? For me, what this looked like was creating tutorials, educational content around web design for business owners, for agencies. So here is just a quick example. So you can see I posted a video about 6 months ago. And it only has 1,600 views, which is not a lot, but for my niche, this is actually really good. And I'll explain in just a second why. Here's the stats for this specific video. So 1,640 views. And you can see it only made 51 cents of YouTube AdSense, which is not great. But the thing is, even though it only made 50 cents of YouTube AdSense, this video generated me over $3,000. How does this work? So what this video was about was teaching people about web design for Go High Level. So how this video helped me make that money is I was teaching a very specific type of audience, business owners, agency owners, how to design websites on Go High Level. It was a tutorials, educational, and I was giving tons of value up front. Even though the video didn't get that many views, it was getting the right type of views. It was going after business owners, my ideal prospect that I could help them out. The 1,600 views that I was getting was actually 1,600 business owners that I was reaching on a single piece of outreach. So think about the leverage when you're creating these type of videos. And so how we do this is we turn micro, very niche, very specific videos, highly engaged views into customers. And so kind of how this works is for this video, let's say I got 1,640 views. And because the nature of these videos where I'm teaching people, I'm showing them value. A lot of times this educational content, people watch the video, take the value and implement it on their own. Let's just say that 1,630 of them implemented that content on their own. But the thing is, not everybody has the time or wants to implement on their own. A lot of people, business owners, would rather pay someone else and help them solve that problem. The websites, the web design, whatever it is that you're solving for other people. And so let's just say that 10 of them out of the 1,640 views wanted me to help them instead. All of a sudden, I have 10 potential buyers of my services, of my products. And so how do we turn 10 leads into customers? What we do is we drive them to our offer. My offer is pretty simple. It's kind of like one offer, but it has 2 levels of proximity. So what I mean by that is the low ticket offer is kind of like a DIY digital product. So what I did is I productized my knowledge around web design and I sold it as a template, as a digital product. Very low ticket for business owners that want a bit of help, that are on a budget, that would rather kind of take that and implement it on their own. It's kind of like that low ticket offer. Now, the second offer that I have is more of a hands-on offer, a done-for-you solution, which would be a custom website. And so this would be me actually taking my time and building them a website for their business. And this would be higher ticket. As you see, it's like pretty much the same type of offer, one offer, but it's just 2 levels of the offer. One that is low ticket, people that are on a budget that would rather kind of take that and implement on their own, or the people that wants completely hands-off that are willing to pay more, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for the custom custom website that I would build for them one-on-one. Now, to show you kind of the math around this, so let's just keep the same example. So 10 interested people out of the 1,640. Let's just say out of those 10 people, 5 of them actually followed through and booked an appointment for my website services. But the thing is, not all 5 of those people are actually going to close. If all 5 of them close, it would be insane. But let's just say that 2 of them closed. And so just to keep it simple, for those 2 clients, let's just say they bought a $1,500 website from me that I would build for them custom, and maybe let's say it would take me a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, then I would make $3,000 from a single video. So that's kind of the math. So 10 people becomes into 5 booked appointments, then you are able to close 2 people, and then 2 people pay you $1,500. That's $3,000 of new revenue. Now, this is just a simple example because it's actually not entirely true how that video made me that money. It was mostly a combination of digital products, the DIY product, and some of the done for you, the higher ticket. But just to keep it simple, just to show you an example of how you take those visitors, turn them into sales for your business. Now, I'll go into more detail on my next few videos, like about offers, cross sales, upsells, digital products, positioning your offer, all that stuff. But just to keep it simple for this video, this is kind of what that would look like. Now, if I step back, let me just show you the micro YouTube funnel that we created. So we have a YouTube channel that is around a niche or maybe a sub niche, something small around your business. And what we're trying to do is create low niche view videos. And so what that's going to generate is interested buyers. And from those interested buyers, we have 2 offers, the DIY, which is low ticket, and then we have the done for you offer, which is high ticket. And from that, we start making money. So that's a high level overview of the funnel. And if you're a business owner, you're a freelancer, you're a creator, and you want us to help you implement this system into your business, just click the first link in my bio.